Imagine never having to worry about your food expiring again. Sounds unimaginable, right? But guess what? It is possible. Today, we will reveal 11 foods that defy the concept of expiration dates. Now, we're not promising these foods will last for centuries, but many of these foods could quite easily outlast you. Say goodbye to the constant worry of expiration dates and rest easy, knowing that your emergency supplies will always be ready to be served. Let's start with 3 kitchen superheroes: salt, sugar, and honey. These common staples have a reputation for defying the test of time, and here's why. First up, salt. Used for centuries as a preservative, salt works by dehydrating food and creating an environment hostile to bacteria and microorganisms. Whether it's preserving meats or fish, salt keeps them fresh for extended periods. Here's a fun fact. Table salt, which is the salt we get after the entire refining process, becomes even more stable and resistant to spoilage. Just store it in a cool, dry place and it'll remain safe to consume indefinitely. Now, let's talk about sugar. Not just a sweet addition to your coffee, sugar attracts and retains moisture, inhibiting the growth of bacteria and molds. With a low water activity level, sugar prevents microbial growth effectively. While it may harden over time due to moisture absorption, properly stored sugar can last indefinitely without any compromise in quality. Then we have honey. This natural sweetener produced by bees is highly concentrated and has a low water content, making it an unwelcome environment for bacteria and microorganisms. With a low pH level that further inhibits bacterial growth, honey has a virtually indefinite shelf life. Moving on to number 4 on our list, we have canned meat. They are a great protein source for survival shopping. Doesn't matter if it's chicken, beef, or pork, canned meats can actually outlast their best buy dates. The key is to ensure the cans are in good condition. No dents or bulges that could indicate spoilage. The magic behind canned meat's eternal freshness lies in the canning process. Sealing the meat in an airtight container and subjecting it to high temperatures eliminates bacteria and microorganisms that cause spoilage. The absence of oxygen, coupled with high temperatures during canning, creates an environment that's inhospitable to bacteria, ensuring the meat remains safe to consume for years. It's essential to note that while canned meat may not technically expire, its quality, taste, texture, and nutritional value may change over time. Despite these changes, it remains safe to eat. Just make sure the taste hasn't changed. When you open the can, rely on your best tool, your nose. A quick sniff can tell you a lot. At number 5, we have a classic survival food, white rice. This long-grain wonder is no stranger to the prepper's pantry, and here's why. Researchers have discovered that when stored properly, we're talking Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers at room temperature, white rice can maintain its nutrient content and flavor for up to 30 years. Yes, you heard it right, 30 years. It's no surprise that preppers and those planning for the long haul are stocking up on this reliable grain. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. Unlike its brown counterpart, white rice has a longer shelf life. Why? It's all about those natural oils. The absence of these oils in white rice prevents spoilage, ensuring that your rice stays edible for extended periods. So keep this in mind when you're making your long-term food storage choices. White rice is the way to go for the long haul. Moving on to number 6 on our list, we have pasta and noodles. This might come as a surprise to you, but pasta can last for a whopping 20 to 30 years. That's right, we're talking decades of shelf life. Now, in the kitchen or in-store packaging, you might be looking at a couple of years, but with the right precautions, pasta becomes an excellent addition to your long-term food storage arsenal. To ensure your pasta's longevity, store it in airtight containers. Think 5-gallon buckets inside Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers in a cool, dry place. This setup helps fend off moisture and pesky pests, preserving your pasta's quality over time. Whether it's spaghetti noodles or macaroni, there's a plethora of pasta options to choose from. Why does pasta have such an impressive shelf life? Well, it's all in the wheat. Pasta is often made from durum wheat, a hard variety with high protein content. This high protein content makes pasta less prone to spoilage and degradation. Plus, the low moisture content in pasta puts a stop to the growth of bacteria and mold, contributing to its long shelf life. Coming in at number 7, we have the rice's unbeatable duo, beans. Beans are the prepper's favorite. They are not only a delicious addition to your meals, but also a nutritional powerhouse. Packed with protein, fiber, and essential minerals, dried beans are a must-have in any survival food pantry. They offer an excellent source of sustenance during emergencies or long-term situations. While the overall quality of beans may decrease after around 30 years, they're still considered acceptable for consumption. To store beans for the long haul, here's the drill. Ensure they're properly dried and free of moisture. Then seal them in airtight containers. Throw in some Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. This setup helps prevent mold and insect infestation, ensuring your beans stay in top-notch condition. When the time comes to rely on beans as a survival food, you'll be grateful for your supply of these nutrient-dense wonders at your disposal. Now, moving on to number 8, canned fruits and vegetables. In times of crisis or when fresh produce is hard to come by, maintaining your balanced diet shouldn't take a hit. That's where canned fruits and vegetables come to the rescue. They're not just a backup plan, they're an excellent addition to your long-term food storage. Canned fruits and vegetables retain their nutrients and flavor for much longer than fresh produce. Don't be fooled by the best by date on the can. It's more of a suggestion for when the food tastes its best, not an expiration date. Just like canned meats, these foods last far beyond what the label suggests. The process of canning itself ensures that the food inside the can, as long as the can is intact, will last for years past that so-called expiration date. The next item on our list might surprise you. It's alcohol. Now, we know it may not sound like your typical long-term food storage item, but hear us out. Certain types of alcohol, like vodka, have an indefinite shelf life. While some flavors might change over time due to oxidation, as long as the bottle is sealed properly, the alcohol inside remains safe to consume. We know what you might be wondering. Why would you even want to include alcohol in your long-term storage? Well, aside from providing a source of relaxation or comfort during challenging times, alcohol has some surprising uses. It can double as an antiseptic, a disinfectant, and even a pain reliever. Of course, this goes without saying. Consume responsibly and in moderation. While it might be tempting to escape the realities of the world, alcohol can be a valuable asset in your storage, even if you don't plan on sipping it regularly. It's versatile, has multiple uses, and sits quietly on your shelf without worries of it going bad. So why not consider adding a bottle or two to your long-term food storage plan? You have to save some long-term supplies for your breakfast, right? The next 2 items on our list are just for that. When it comes to long-term food storage, rolled oats are a breakfast staple that shouldn't be overlooked. Not only are they hearty and nutritious, but they also boast an impressive shelf life. Store them properly in a cool, dry place, preferably inside Mylar bags, and you'll find they can last 20 or 30 years. Yes, they might not be as versatile as rice or pasta, but they still offer plenty of options. From classic oatmeal to granola bars and cookies, there's a lot you can whip up with these oats. Their versatility, coupled with their super long shelf life, makes rolled oats an excellent addition to any long-term food storage plan. And finally, rounding out our list at number 11 is the second half of our breakfast duo, powdered milk. When you can't get fresh milk, powdered milk is the next best alternative for you. Now, let's be real. It might not taste as good as the real deal, but it gets the job done. It does have a shelf life fresh milk can only dream of. Its much superior shelf life makes powdered milk a popular choice among preppers. The shelf life of powdered milk stored this way depends on factors like the quality of the milk, storage conditions, and the specific brand. Generally, when stored properly, in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight, powdered milk can typically last around 20 years or more. This extended shelf life makes it an ideal option for emergency storage, especially if you have children who enjoy breakfast cereal or if you're into baking and various recipes that require milk. Now, if you're thinking, why bother with all the preparation when you can get your meals directly from your favorite fast food chain? Well, your favorite fast food chain might not be around either. Click the video on screen now to find out about the 15 fast food chains closing their doors soon.